Today I wanted to go over 5 ways that you can identify that you have a loved one who has either an alcoholic, they are an alcoholic, or they have alcoholic tendencies. And it's important as family members or as the alcoholic themselves to recognize that certain behaviors and certain, out of character type of episodes in their life. And if it's consistent enough, it's important to point that out. It's important to resolve the issue like any disease. It's important to get it in the earlier stages before someone becomes emotionally, physically, chemically addicted, before it becomes part of their identity, before they get into the denial and gaslighting and deflection stage. So the sooner that people can identify that someone in your life has a problem, the better it is for everyone involved. Better for the alcoholic, obviously, and better for their family and everybody in their circle. And none of these, I want to point out, is there to disparage anybody. This is discovering truths that happen on a regular basis, that families go through on a regular basis, and certainly alcoholics go through on a regular basis. So let's start. One of the easiest things to identify is denial of a problem. If you have a loved one that has an obvious habitual drinking problem and it's been going on for a period of time, and they just go, well, I don't have a problem. I mean, I drink like everybody else. You have a problem because I drink, and they're kind of doing this gaslighting type of thing. This can happen in the earlier stages, but it's much more profound in the later stages. And again, you want to get somebody before they get to this point, before they become, passive aggressive, before they become defensive in their drinking, because it's much easier to point out somebody has an issue. And you can point out your concerns as, we're worried about your health, we're worried about your productivity, and we're worried about how, your drinking is affecting all your relationships, including ours as family members. Another big one is simply the inability to moderate alcohol consumption. In other words, they don't have an off button. They will drink in social circles until they pass out. And this could be binge drinking. This is one of the most dangerous types of alcohol consumption, because if you get too much alcohol in your bloodstream, you can have a heart attack, a stroke. You can cause all kinds of problems. And if you get behind the wheel of a car, I mean, you're a walking time bomb. It's very difficult. And it can really escalate onto other things. If that binge drinking becomes more advanced, it's a serious health risk for that person. Another one is the innate ability to rationalize unacceptable behaviors. In other words, the vomit on the couch, I'm sorry I vomited, it only happened once. Well, you had vomit all over the front of you. Yes, I know, but it only happened that once. No, actually, it's been happening like once a week. And by the way, you're also urinating all over yourself and all over the furniture and all over your car seat when we drive somewhere. These are real conversations that I used to have, and it's important if that type of thing is going on. Newsflash, vomiting on yourself or on furniture in your own house or in social situations is not a normal thing, but it can be a very normal thing for someone who is struggling with alcohol use disorder. And then other rationalizations like, that DUI that I got, that was a fluke. Getting arrested, I mean, I was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. And when someone says something and that's their response to doing something that's, grotesquely not particularly good behavior, and they're rationalizing it. I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Well, how about, not drinking? I mean, if you weren't drinking, we wouldn't be having this conversation. And just taking that culpability and the inability to do that is a huge red flag. And then, of course, there is the talented ability to convince oneself that an obvious lie is the truth. Like, the reason why I was passed out next to the toilet in a fetal position is because I was really tired that day and I didn't make it to the bed. I mean, these are conversations that I actually have had. And then coming home from work, for example, and asking my spouse, have you been drinking today? As her eyes are glassed over and she has bloodshot eyes and her skin is, not a particularly healthy color. And then, no, I haven't been drinking today. And she's sitting on the couch and you pull back the pillow and there's a couple empty beer cans and there's a full glass of beer sitting there, and she'll just scowl at you. I mean, just the inability to even accept reality. It's a red flag. And then, of course, the number one most obvious red flag is drinking in isolation, isolating yourself. The opposite of alcoholism is connection and communication and relationships. And if you're isolating, if you're hiding your alcohol, you have a glass jug and it's actually vodka or wine, or you're just disappearing for days, you're drinking in your car, or the alcoholic is going out of their way to make sure the people in their lives don't know the amount of consumption that they're actually taking into their body. These are all huge, huge red flags, and they all warrant a serious sit-down conversation met with boundaries and a realization to what's actually coming on. And you want to do it when the alcoholic is sober. And I hope these realizations help. And again, I go live Monday through Friday right around 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. We also have the Facebook group. It's called There's an Alcoholic in the Family. Great group if you want a safe place to really explore your story of your life, either the alcoholic in your life or if you're an alcoholic. And then when you're ready to work with me one-on-one, again, set up a breakthrough call. Link is in the link tree in my bio. Again, it takes about 45 minutes. We do a deep dive into what's going on with you, and then we go over the coaching program. Again, thanks for listening.